Hey guys, so where I left you last with testing with the GraphQL boilerplate is, for the most part, it sometimes worked. So what would happen is there would occasionally be a race condition that popped up, and I finally think I have solved that, or at least I've run the test cases a bunch of times and they seem to all pass, and so I can't get the race condition to occur anymore. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how I discovered it and then how I got rid of the error, and so now the tests seem to work flawlessly. Alright, so first thing, I was running the tests, and so sometimes they would fail, sometimes they wouldn't. And I was using this to test it. So one of you guys in the comments mentioned this, adding this flag called no cache, and that seemed to run the tests in parallel pretty every time. So I was getting weird errors that I wasn't expecting to get, and one of the runs I checked the database. So I just did pSQL, opened up my database that I was using to test, and then I just select all from the users table. And something I noticed was the emails were the same across multiple users, and I thought that was really weird because we were using Faker, which did random data, so gave us a random email. So why were we getting users with the same thing? Now I fixed this, so that's why now you'll see it's a different one per user. But check that, and maybe that you're having the same problem. That was the main problem I was having, was I got the same email per thing. So you may be wondering, why is Faker giving us the same email? You may be thinking once in a while it should do that, right? Just pure chance. But this was happening way more than pure chance would be, that Faker gives you the same email multiple times. So what I think was going on with Faker there is it uses the time to calculate what random email we should get. So when the tests were running in parallel, the exact same time or exact same millisecond they would generate the email, and that would cause the emails to be the same across multiple tests or whatnot. So to fix this, what I did was you can do seeding. So I said faker.seed, and I took the current time and I added a number to it. So in this case, I am in forgot password test, and I added 0 to it. And then in the login test, I added a 1 to it, and so on. So now it gives some kind of, for example, they should not all be at the same time. Even if they are, I add a number to it. Now you may be thinking it was kind of weird that I'm adding the date plus 2. What I originally had was, for example, just seed 0. And if you're not familiar with how seeding works, it makes the randomization not random anymore. So if I did seed 0 and ran faker.internet.email, I would get the same email every time for this test. But if I gave seed 1 over here, I should get a different email. But you would get the same email every time for that test, at least. But since I'm seeding 1 over here and seeding 0 over here, it would cause a difference of the randomness. Now, the reason why I added the date now to it is because I wanted to be able to do watch. So when we do just watch and I would rerun the tests, we don't drop the database in between each watch, which maybe is what we should be doing, but we're not. So the email would be in the database. So now this adds a little element of randomness. But anyway, so adding faker.seed to the beginning of every single test, so this one and my logout test and the me test, and then doing a different +3 to it. So date.now will give us, I believe in milliseconds, what the current time is, and then we're just adding 3 to it. So now if I run this test and this test at the exact same time, they should generate a different seed and then giving us random results. And so that seemed to work for me. So I no longer was getting the same email in every single, whenever it would cause an error, it would be the same email. So I changed that in all my tests. So register test, email link, all of them have a different seed value. So try that. And then there was another error that was popping up. So after I fixed this, I no longer was getting that. I was just getting just like once in a while an error with the logout. It turns out, for whatever reason, we also need to destroy the current session. So back to when how we did logout, is we called this function called remove all users sessions. And so what it would do is it would look inside of Redis, and it would delete all the sessions for that user. Now, it would also delete the current session inside of this function, but for some reason, there'd be a race condition or whatnot that would cause it not to get destroyed or removed, at least only the current session. So I just added this bit of code right here where I did session.destroy, and this destroys the current session. And that seems to get rid of all the bugs, at least with testing. So I just have been running tests like this and just running jest with no cache a bunch of times, and it seems to be passing all the ones whenever I'm running it. And they all seem to be, so it says runs, so I'm thinking they're all happening in parallel as well. So that is good. That actually ran pretty slow. Usually it's faster than 12 seconds. And then also if I do this with the watch flag, or we can do both, right? So I can not cache it and do watch. And then I run that a bunch of times. It seems to be good as well. So I think I'm pretty much done making changes to the tests. I think it's in pretty good shape. But let me know if you guys have any more problems with this, at least with testing and it not working. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and all this code is going to be up on GitHub if you want to see what I changed, but it was only adding this and then also adding the seed.